Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is a full vlog of my experience as a contestant in Miss Unilorin 2023. So last year I was a contestant in my school's pageant and I recorded the entire thing, the trainings, the events and everything in between. I also shared a little bit of my internal struggle during the whole process. So if you're interested in participating in Miss Unilorin or any of your school's pageants, or you're just curious about pageantry, then this video is going to be for you. Continue watching. I've tried my best to answer all the questions that I think people will have, but in case I don't answer like what you have in mind, please ask the question in the comments, and if I have enough questions, I'll make another video for all your questions. So let's get into the video. This entire pageantry thing started with a bucket list. I've always seen them announcing pageant things, like especially in my school. But I just like when you notice something, but you don't even pay attention to it because like it's not something that you could be interested in. But towards the middle of last year, I was like it could be fun. Once you graduate, you have very few opportunities to try things like this. I think at that time I was trying to do new things, trying to maximize my university experience. So once I prayed about it and there was nothing stopping me, I spoke to my friends. I said, see, I'm going to participate in a pageant. Everybody was like, eh. So it was just obvious that this was me stepping out of my comfort zone, and I think I wanted that because I felt that I had been too comfortable in my university life, just doing triangular student things, but not really triangular student, but yes, I would call myself that. So I felt that this was an opportunity to try something that I would not be able to do again if I leave university, because a lot of these pageantries outside universities, maybe these IG ones or maybe the professional ones, but this particular one was low stakes, and I felt that I just came into it for fun. That was what was in my head when I first started out. But obviously, as the whole pageant and the trainings and everything, it was no longer just for fun. It was just oh, okay, it's not that hard. Why am I overthinking it? Why am I could actually do something. So in my mind, it was just, let's come here for vibes. Let's come here to have fun. That was at first. But the more I trained, or the more I learned what pageantry really meant, the more I got attached to it. And I'm like, I like this. I really like this. And I started to put more effort. The entire experience was something that I honestly say is something that everybody should go through, because you learn a lot about yourself, about other people, about what people value, and in a good way too. Like when you are surrounded by a lot of ambitious people, high achievers, and in their own specialties too, because none of us were the same. All of us were going towards the same goal, but we were so different in our skills and our strengths and everything. It made me realize that what people say about pageantry, how people just talk about pageantry is a vain thing. Pageantry is all about how pretty you are or how well you can walk. It made me realize that in real life experiences, pageantry is not really about the vain, shallow things. So if you watch this video to the end, you understand why I say all this. So let me share the whole process of applying to be a contestant. I saw a flyer, a banner, whatever I want to call it, just announcing that, they're looking for people that want to contest. And I messaged the person on the flyer. You pay for the form, 3K, and the person comes, you fill the form with all your information, like name, level, all those things, course, weight. After we paid for it, we're told that we're going to have to send a video of ourselves, just introducing ourselves. And it was okay. I remember filming that introductory video after class, and it was very low effort because I felt that this is an internal video. I don't feel like plenty of people are going to see it, so I don't really bother much about it. But in the video, I think I liked my energy, so I tried my best to shoot my shots, talk about things I feel makes me interesting, because I don't know what exactly they wanted from the video. I filmed it and I submitted. Obviously, there was a deadline for application, and I think the day after the application, we're supposed to go for a photo shoot and take pictures, to announce ourselves to the world that, okay, so and so is participating in this contest. And it was a Sunday. And I remember being, I was a little bit nervous to meet everybody because I knew that I was not pageant type. And even though I don't really follow pageantry online or on TV, I just knew that there's an image of a person that you imagine when they talk about pageantry. Imagine this slim, slender woman, and I was plus size. I was just like, I don't know how today is going to be like. I was feeling a little bit nervous that, oh, okay, that how are people going to view me, or is it going to hurt my chances? Because when I saw that weight on the form, I'm like, are they going to disqualify me if I'm above a certain weight? Even that day I was signing the form, I could tell that one of the ladies, she was like curious, but not in a bad way, but she was just like wondering, like, oh, okay. She even asked me like, oh, why am I interested in this pageantry thing? So because of that question, I was just wondering, okay, as I'm preparing for this whole event and everything, like, is it going to hinder my chances? Am I going to be shut out because I don't look the part? I don't know if you get. So I just got ready that day and carried everything I needed to do, because we were told that it was going to be a simple makeup look, and we should do our makeup and everything. So I could have done my makeup before church, but I just felt like after church and the whole running around, the whole Ilorin and coming, like, it's not going to look as fresh. So I said, okay, I'll pack my things into my bag, then go to church, then come for the photo shoot and do my makeup. And that's what I did. Went to church, took a bike looking for the studio, because now wow, everybody doesn't know anywhere in this Ilorin. So I took a bike and got to the place. I think I had to call. Yeah, I had to call because we could not find the exact photo studio. But I found it in the end, and I got there early, thankfully, because I wanted to do my makeup. And I started doing my makeup. I think there were like 2 people there already. So I spoke to them a bit, went to do my makeup. Then more people started coming in. So during the photo shoot, we met the organizers, we met the trainers. We explained everything that we needed to know. We were told everything that we needed to know how to do, the timeline, what we should prepare for. They just broke down everything for us. And yeah, it was okay. I think the issue now got to when they actually broke the timeline fully. In my mind, like, exams were approaching. I'm like, okay, we're going to do this event after the exams. But they told us, oh, we're going to do this 1 week before the exams. And everybody was like, no. Everybody was just like complaining, like, oh, no, we cannot do that. But they should explain it to us that if we do it after exams, plenty of people would have gone home. And that means nobody will show up to the event. It made sense, as they were explaining, but like, it's not as if we liked it, because it was just a lot. 3 weeks, or I think we had 1 month until exams. So imagine like balancing, like preparing for exams and tests and last minute assignments. And I can always come and do pageantry, because we're supposed to meet 4 or 5 times a week, and we'll train, and also there'll be also other things that you have to do. It was such a shock, because I had been expecting the training to be weekend, something that you can easily carve out time. I know that I was going to be like have to rush from classes to the trainings and back to hostel. When they were explaining everything to me, I was like, can I really do this? I was just thinking about my life. But in the end, I stayed put, because obviously I'm here, I'm making the video. That means I finished the entire thing. So the organizers told us of how the training they're going to go. They're going to teach us how to walk, how to dance, everything that a future queen needs to know how to do. Talk, everything. So that was what was going to be, and it was going to be very intensive. So obviously we needed those 4 or 5 days a week for the 3-4 weeks that we needed to train. So we started our training that week, and the first day we were just told to walk, to stand. They were just going to be corrected on mistakes that we were making in our walk, in our standing. So towards the end of that day, we were just asked questions, very subjective questions, nothing that there's right or wrong, because one of the major aspects of pageantry is also being able to answer questions. So we were asked things like, what is the best house in a room? Obviously there's no right or wrong answer, so it depends on how you answer it, and there's a time frame, and also like you're not meant to spend too much time thinking about it, because you just need like 3 seconds to start talking, and maybe like 30 seconds to 1 minute to answer. So that was the first day. We spent like 2-3 hours walking, standing, talking. So that's what we did that first day, and that first day was relatively tame compared to all the things that we're going to do later. But that was the day that my eye opened, because for 3 hours we were just standing, like we could not sit down, and we were in heels. And I don't know, people can be saying, what's the problem? I don't know, everybody walks in heels, but to stand in heels, like, when you go out for an event, regular event, you find a way to sit down. You sit down at the event, you sit down. Well, you shall sit down. So we were standing, and I was just like, Jesus, is this how it's going to be? Like, yes, we found out that it was going to be like that, standing throughout. So at the end of that first day, we were told to wear socks with our heels so that we don't have blisters and so on. And we showed up the next day with socks, but honestly, I don't know, it didn't really work. Maybe it was just me, but the socks was not really all that. So that's how the rest of the training went. When we first start, like, we're just beginners, we don't know anything, we're just making the wrongest mistakes. But as we go 1 week, 2 weeks, like, we were just learning, we were just practicing. Then we started learning how to dance. We were supposed to perform a choreography at the main event, so we started learning how to dance. And honestly, I think you can imagine how terrible it went, because dancing is not something that plenty of people can say that they're very good at, especially me. So we shall dance, even though I think we were just messing it up. But at least we were learning at least those first few times of the dance. Like, we did not really memorize the choreography, but the more we practiced, the more we became better. And it was fun, actually. I think towards the end, I appreciated the skill of dancing, because, like, it's not just moving your body. Like, you could know the steps, but you still look like you don't know what you're doing. So apart from walking, talking, dancing, and other things that we had to learn, we also had some other tasks that we had to do. So it turns out that the whole pageant thing is not just on the D-Day. There are certain awards that you get that will help you become the Miss Unilorin. So there were things like Miss Evening Gown, like who has the best evening gown, Miss Entrepreneur, Miss Amity, Miss Popular. We have Miss Culture, the person that wears, like, the most cultural attire on that day. Then we had Miss Talent, Miss Charity, there was Top Model and everything. And one of the organizers, or one of the sponsors of the pageant, also had a mini competition. We're supposed to do a presentation on the Internet of Things. The person that wins that presentation will also win money, and that will also affect your standing in the whole pageant thing. So that's when we realized that, okay, it's not just the main event that we have to prepare for. There are so many things that we have to prepare for. So you know how I said I just came in for fun and for vibes. But by the middle of the first week, I realized that, it wasn't all about just looking pretty and working well. It was about sharpness and confidence and how you carried yourself and the brand that you were building as you carried about yourself. And as that week went, I just kept falling more and more in love with it. And as expected, I just wanted to be good at it. I did not just want it to be vibes anymore. I wanted to put in the effort. It was during this time that they opened monetary voting. So you're supposed to look for friends or people to tell them to vote for you. You pay 100 naira and you can pay as many times as you want, but 100 naira is per vote. You can already imagine how it was like asking people for money, because people will say to your face that, oh, you're just wasting your time, or these people are using you for your money. In the end, I know him. But there was something so demotivating about asking people for money, because you can see how they see you, even if they don't admit it. Like, they don't say it to your face. Like, you can tell that, they don't really believe in you. And it's easy to say, it's just you. Like, maybe people are not used to seeing you as a contestant for a pageant. But I spoke to other contestants too, and they were feeling it as well. Because when you have high hopes for yourself, and you can see that people don't have the same high hopes for you, it's understandable too, because people don't want to give money to a corporation for votes unless they are sure that you have what it takes. And you know that saying that somebody is not well liked in their village. I don't know if you get it. The Bible is that even among your peers, like, they see you as a normal person, so they don't really know the special things you get. So during that period, you just go for training, go for class. Maybe during that time, you don't tell, vote for me, and everybody's like, not really, but okay. So that was how it went. So if you went below the cutoff for the votes, you'll be disqualified. And if you were among the top, then to go to your total points in the main pageant, so it will help you. So during that monetary voting, I think the monetary voting lasted for 1 or 2 weeks, I'm not sure. When the monetary voting closed, immediately we started the Instagram voting. So you tell people to like your post and everything. That day, that period, it was because, so people are more likely to give Instagram votes than monetary votes. But the thing is that just because you send it to your DM doesn't mean they're going to vote. What all of us did was we had to go individually, go everywhere, go to every single human being in this life and ask them to open their Instagram. If they don't have Instagram, help them download it. If they don't have data, on hotspot for them. So I went around my hostel. I walked into every room, knocked, begged them to help me open Instagram. Some people say, oh no, they've already voted for somebody. I think 95% of people answered me. Then maybe 2% said they are voting for somebody else. Then 3%. One issue or the other came up and everything. So minus hostel, you have to go to, what's the name? To the road and just say, please, can you help me like something. People ask you questions. And that time, my sister really helped me with the outside voting, because that time it was towards the exams. So my faculty likes to do tests, assignments the week before exams, unlike regular faculties where you have a test week. That week before exams is supposed to be lecture free, but obviously I was preparing for tests. I had so many back-to-back tests. I had assignments. So my sister helped me go outside and ask people for votes. So thank you. I'm shouting at my sister because she really helped me. I think at one point I just gave up on the Instagram voting because I realized that even if I tried my best is not somebody else's average. So I'm stressing myself too much over something that matters but doesn't really matter. The Instagram voting ended and we started preparing for other things. I remember one day during our training, we were just asked to stand and to smile. As far because we have to smile because it's a pageantry thing. You have to smile and be open and be friendly and just smile as you are standing. And we were there for I don't even want to exaggerate, but we were just there. And the fact that we could not sit down until our trainer was satisfied that, okay, we had smiled enough. So standing for maybe 30 minutes and your cheeks are shaking because you're doing wide smile. As I'm talking, I tried to smile for 2 minutes. And I'm not talking about small smile. I'm talking about opening your teeth and your cheeks are raising up to your eyes. That kind of smile. So we're just there, just standing under the sun. Just smiling, and your cheeks are when you drop that smile, you feel as if you have gotten older because your whole muscles, your wrinkles, everything has aged a bit. So I remember that day. I cannot forget that day. But at the main event, I was so grateful that we had all these things because the trainings we stood for 3 hours. Yes, it's bad, but for the main event I think I was on my feet for 7-8 hours, maybe minus the times that I have to change my clothes and I'm sitting down, but 7 hours straight on heels. And towards the end of the event, you'll be standing. So that 3 hours serve didn't really prepare us for the amount of standing, the amount of smiling, the amount of everything that we had to do. But sometimes I just felt we were overdoing it in the training because it's not that deep, but it was that deep. It was that deep. So every evening during the work day, Monday to Friday, maybe except one day in the week, we will be trained on pageant standards. How to stand, how to smile, how to move when you walk, standing in heels for hours. So it was okay. Some things were manageable, but the things that were just too hard. And that time, Ice was my best friend because after standing in heels, running around in heels, because we have to run in the dance choreography, there's a part that we have to run, have to jump in the heels. I really needed that Ice because after I go back to the hostel, I'll just rest my legs. It's not enough. My leg will still be paining me the next day when we have to walk in heels again. So I had to put Ice on my legs. And it helped. It actually helped because it will reduce the swelling. But my leg will still be in pain by the next time that we have to go for the training. So I remember one particular day, I just gave up. I just was sound out. I'm my leg is paining me. I can't do this. I think maybe I particularly struggled because the more weight you have on your body, the more weight is going to push down on your soles of your feet or on the balls of your feet. So also during the evening trainings, we also had a few games. They were not really important, but they're just there just to teach us some things. I don't really know what they taught us, but at least they taught us some things on how to think critically, and some groups won, and I think Shala Rahman took them out as a reward for their group winning and everything. So by now I was already making friends with a lot of contestants, and maybe we'll bond after the trainings. Many of us were on campus, some of us were off campus too, but we'll chat on WhatsApp, ask each other questions, ask for help, everything. Until now, I'm still friends with some of them. If I see them on Drew, we have things that we're going to talk about, but not pageant related. So towards the unveiling, we were told that we were going to do top model. So they were going to pick the top model. We needed to work in front of the organizers to see who will fit top model. Then we also had to prepare for talent, present our talents, because we needed only five or so people to present talents on the main event. And the talent was about presentation. When we were told about the whole talent thing, I'm what can I do? What can I do as a presentation? So I thought about it for a few days. And so I'm an average singer. I don't know how to, I've not gone through any kind of training. So if I sing, it's not as if you close your ears, but I'm not the best singer. So even though that was the best option for me, I knew that singing was not going to be very spectacular. So I decided to add sign language to it. So if you don't know, I've taken sign language classes since 100 level, and I decided to add sign language to it because it will boost me a little bit. I was now looking for a song to perform to, and and I had 3 criteria when I was searching. The song had to be easy to sing because I don't want to go and do off key something. Even though in the end I actually went off key, but like the song had to be easy to sing. It had to be slow enough for me to perform signs because I'm not a fast signer, so I needed something relatively slow. And the song also needed to be popular for people to sing along so that they will assist me. So those were my 3 criteria. And I searched a few songs and I ended up with a Barbie song. And it fits the 3 criteria. When it was the day of first performance of talents, I sang and performed the sign. But my trainer, Shalaraman, said that the song was not all that. I felt that the song was popular because quite a few of the other contestants knew the song. But he was like, I should not perform that song. I said, okay, I'm going to perform the song. But I went back to my hostel. And I'm like, that was the last week. That was the week before exams. I didn't have time to find a new song, learn it, cross-check the signs, and perform it again. So I felt like, okay, let me just do the song. So I told him that, I'll not be able to change the song. And he's like, oh, okay. So he was giving the vibe, oh, you do you. Like, I've already told you. And in hindsight, he was actually right. But I just did not have the time. I needed to focus on my school, at least for that week. So I didn't have the time to change the song. And apart from the talents too, there was also the project that we had to research on. So as a queen, it's not just the crown that you are using. You also have a responsibility towards your community, and your community is university. So we had to research on a project that we wanted to contribute to University of Ilorin. And I decided that if I become queen, I wanted to create a creatives community because I'm involved in some creative communities in University of Ilorin, but we don't have something very tangible and something that all of us can meet. Just because you know a few creatives and you hang out and talk about photography and film and writing doesn't mean that you know 99% of all the creatives in University of Learning. So that's what I wanted to do. So just make a club. So we also pitched the project and spoke about like the feasibility of the project. And the Tuesday before the main event was our unveiling at the Student Union building. So you're just announcing yourselves to the student community and saying, okay, see, we were participating in Miss Unilorin. And we performed our talents, we introduced ourselves, and some other things that we did there. That day was very, very stressful because I had been preparing for a land law test, a 3-hour land law test, days before. And the time of the test and the unveiling clashed a little bit. That 3-hour test was like an exam because it's a rite of passage at this point. Like everybody knows that once you enter 400 level, you have this land law test that is like an exam. And I always just think that they used to hype it because, people always hype things in the higher levels. It's not when you enter that level and just say, oh, they're hyping this thing. But that landlord test was actually, it was not overrated. Immediately after that landlord test, I was late. I was running. I had my change of clothes, my heels in another bag, and I was just running to Student Union building. And I got there, changed my outfits from my faculty clothes to what we are going to present in, and we had our unveiling. Truth be told, I don't really do well in that my talent because Shalaraman was right. I should have changed my song. Even though people actually knew the song, people sang along with me as I sang. One thing that did not help me was the fact that I did not have music to play along. And after our unveiling, we had a sport event, so we were supposed to play football. So I think maybe they planned it as a bonding event between the contestants. So we played football. I think in my lifetime, I've played football like 3-4 times. I know maybe twice in primary school, during all those PE classes. Then I think I did once in SS3 when we were graduating secondary school. And this is now my 3rd or 4th time playing football. And it was okay. I don't know. The people that play football in my video now be saying, this thing was rubbish, but it was okay. And that same week, we had so many events because we were rounding up everything. We had a charity event, so we're supposed to pick who we're supposed to donate to, whether it be homeless, orphanage or students. I decided to go with homeless, so we made food and we shared it in Tanker to give to the homeless. And after that Miss Charity event, the same day we went to one restaurant. I don't know if I should call it a restaurant or a cafe or something, and we had like a light dinner. We had suya and cinnamon tea and ginger tea depending on what you wanted. Then the next day we had a daycation at Madison Resort, so all of us went to Madison Resort for a little vacation. The plan was that the vacation was supposed to be for rest and just to have fun after like the whole stress of everything. But all of us were so stressed and tired, and I would not really vibe with the place. After the vacation, we had 1 or 2 days of rest. Then on the Saturday of the event, we were told to come by 10 a.m. for rehearsal. So we came, we changed into our dinner dresses and everything, and had a rehearsal for like 1-2 hours. We did our makeup, then the event started. So we started by introducing ourselves to the judges and to the audience. Just talk about yourself, talk about qualities that make you desirable to be queen. Then we had our dance routine immediately after, and then we went to prepare for our talents. And this time around, since we had 1 or 2 days of rest, I had the opportunity to change my song. So I decided to perform Girl on Fire. And yes, this time I could feel that this was a better song for me. The signs were more expressive, the song was better, and I added music to the background of my singing. And people also knew the song, so they also singing. So, or maybe everything felt better because I had learned from my previous mistake at the Unveiling, and I just knew how to perform better, how to sign better, how to express myself better, and everything. So I felt that was a good job from my performance. So after our talents, we got ready to do our cultural presentation. Depending on the culture you pick, you can pick Yoruba, Igbo, Edo, so on and so forth. You don't have to pick the tribe you come from. So I picked Yoruba because during the whole 1 month of preparation, I struggled to find an Igbo costume. So I decided to just sew oleku. I rented this expensive set of beads and decided that, okay, I was going to go as a Yoruba fisher princess because I don't know how else to describe oleku and beads and everything. So I said I'm a Yoruba fisher princess. So for your cultural attire, you're scored based on how you dancing, what you are wearing, and how you describe your outfits. So I just spoke on how the outfits represents my attributes as being queen. I just compared a queen to a fisher princess, that she wakes up in the morning, she does her tasks, and yet she's still very regal, very elegant, everything like that. So after the whole cultural thing, you're running backstage to go and change. So we changed into our evening gown. That was our final gown for the day. So by that time, I think I changed, my 4th time changing for the event. And the evening gown, you go individually, you walk to the stage, you show your dress, you show your work, you show your smile, and then you walk back. And that's how it's going to be for everybody. Then finally, everybody will now come in and line up on a straight line on stage. Based on the monetary votes, the IG votes, the friendliest, the best cultural wear, the best evening gown, they now share awards. So they shared awards. In the end, I was Miss Charity. And every other person that got their awards based on votes or based on their performance were given their awards. After the whole awards were given, they now picked the top 10. So the top 10 is just a compilation of all the things that we have done. Our introduction, our evening gown, our work, our culture, our talents, all the IG votes, monetary votes, everything I've spoken about, they were scoring it. So they now picked top 10. So I was among the top 10. So once top 10 was picked, they will ask you questions. So they'll say between maybe 1 and 20, pick a number. And you pick a number and they'll ask you questions based on that. So we answered, and then they picked top 5. So unfortunately for me, and unfortunately for you, because you're watching this on my channel, I was not picked among top 5. So top 5, they went through 2 rounds of questions. So once they answer those 2 rounds of questions, the judges will deliberate and see, okay, who is top 5, who is 5th, 4th, and so on and everything. So they announced 5th, then the 4th, then the 3rd. Then all this competition ceremony. So they were just wasting time trying to make us anxious. I'm like, oh, who's going to be queen? Who's going to be runner-up? So they now announced runner-up and they announced the queen. So Miss Unilorin 2023 was Labo and the runner-up was Bolu. So my friends came backstage, packed my things, and we went to our hostels. I think that time was already like 11 o'clock, 11 p.m., 12 p.m. So that means we came around 10. We started our rehearsal around 11 a.m. And for 12 hours, just to say 11, 12 hours, I was on heels. The whole training did not even really prepare me for all that amount of smiling, all the amount of standing and everything. But in the end, even though I was disappointed I did not win, I learned a lot. I actually learned a lot that till now I'm still practicing, because this event was 8-9 months ago. But because I've been away from YouTube, I've not been able to edit this vlog. So you might think that, oh, it's not worth it. Maybe the stress or the time or the effort is not worth it to put yourself, to give much of yourself like this. But if I was given the chance, I think I'll still do it again. I'll just do some things differently. I'll just be more strategic, because I feel like there are so many things, there are so many benefits to this kind of things. And for one, if you're interested in pageantry outside, like in the real world, this is a great platform for you to go. Because when you sign up for a pageant, Miss Lagos State or Most Beautiful Girl in Lagos or something like that, you're so much ahead of other people. You've been trained by people that know what they are doing, and it's going to be an advantage for you. But if you're not interested in pageantry, there are still so many things that you learn that will influence you in your real world. Because I gained so much confidence. Like, I used to think I'm a confident person, like confident enough, averagely confident, but I gained so much more confidence. And it's just in the little things that we were trained on how to carry yourself, and it's the little things that will go a long way. So, how to answer questions on the fly. I used to struggle with impromptu speeches, but now I'll just talk and I'll just let my brain catch up with my mouth, because that was how we needed to. Like, you could not just pause to think, because if you are pausing to think, your point is going down like that. Now, I also know how to walk in heels for long hours. I know you might think that, that is not really important like that, but I think it's a good one. Because sometimes I think it's a flex, being able to know that you are in pain while standing in heels, but like you've been trained to ignore that pain. I also learned a few fashion hacks that I still use, and yeah, they were quite valuable. So if you're thinking of going for it, just do it. Don't worry about everything that I've said. It could be stressful. I know it's going to be stressful, but sometimes you just do things strategically and go with the flow at the same time. I hope I have enlightened you on what it means to participate in Miss Unilorin. I don't want to say convince you, because I felt that if some people knew certain things, they would not do it. And if they knew certain things, they'll be like, okay, this is enough reason for me to be interested in this pageant. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button and leave a comment. You can ask me any question, and I'll try my best to answer your question either in the comments or on another video. And if you think you have a friend that's interested in Miss Unilorin, or she has already said that she's interested, please share this video with her so that she will know everything that she needs to know. And subscribe to my channel if you think it's your cup of tea. I share a lot of things about creativity, entrepreneurship, building a career from the things that you love to do. So, till next time.